At Revolut, we take talent seriously. It's about more than just hiring someone to do a job. It's about hiring people who create cohesion, push boundaries, and strive for excellence in everything they do. Without our people, we'd be nothing. So I'm delighted that you're considering joining us. I feel truly privileged to be part of an organisation that's enabling this growth whilst never compromising on our core values, nor on our high standards. One of the skills we value most at Revolut is problem solving. The ability to solve complex problems with simple solutions forms part of our DNA. And this video will give you a great understanding of what to expect in this interview. So at this stage, you're probably asking, how do we use this interview to assess for this skill of problem solving? We're looking to assess principally three things. People being structured thinkers, people who use a data-driven approach when coming up with solutions, and people who are able to solve new challenges and new problems that we may face as a hyper-growth company.
We want you to feel really well prepared. So what's going to happen? Well, your interviewer is going to log in and introduce themselves. They're a senior member of our team and a proven problem solver already. You're in safe hands. They might also ask you to introduce yourself. Think about a 2-minute pitch of who you are and what makes you amazing. Then they're going to introduce the problem. And that's all about something that we've either solved before or that's a hypothetical. And we're going to ask you to solve it.
My problem-solving interview was quite unique. It was a case that I had never experienced before, or an industry I'd ever worked in. For me, I started by breaking down the problem into different sections and areas and looking at the key data given to me. And it felt like a casual conversation that I was having with my interviewer. I was always asking questions to deep dive further into what are the metrics, what the actual problem is, and how to break it down anecdotally for me to process.
So in terms of my experience with the problem-solving interview, the biggest thing I would say is not coming over prepared. The problem-solving itself might not be related to your normal field. The whole point of the exercise is for you to ask those questions, start to understand the problem, dive a little bit deeper, and then start to connect the dots in terms of bringing forward what that solution might be.
Be confident. For me, always break down the problems into a strategical method where you could process what is happening and how to deliver and leverage the data given to you to answer the key statement at hand. And also not to be afraid of probing and asking further questions to get more information.
100% problem solving helps me in my day-to-day work. Quite often, as a HR generalist, I work with lots of different departments, lots of different functions. One of the main aspects that I'm involved in is understanding what that problem is, asking those questions to dive a little bit deeper into what the impact is on the business, what the impact is on the department, and then working collaboratively towards what a strategic solution might look for in terms of a business output.
So, what are the critical components to being successful in this interview? Take control. You're not going to get any information that you don't ask for. Your interviewer is here to facilitate the discussion and to help you ultimately come to a problem breakdown that creates really good solutions. So make sure that you're asking really good, robust questions and you're digging really deep via your interviewer. Be structured. When you're looking for that data, make sure that you've broken the problem down into component parts, you understand what the goal is that you have in mind, and that you've gone all the way down into the root cause of each of the component parts that you want to understand. Be really clear. Make sure that you have the goal in mind and the why. What exactly is it that's driving you to the solution? What do you really want to understand to make sure that it's the best solution it can possibly be? And remember, there's no right way to do this. If you need to stop and restart, that's absolutely fine. And if you feel like you're off on the wrong track, come right back onto it. Don't worry if it's not exactly what you wanted it to be.
What we look for or observe is a candidate's ability to take a step back, to think about the problem and how they approach it in a measured and calculated way. And also that they break it down into its component parts and tackle each of those component parts either sequentially or in parallel. And finally, we observe their ability to sum up or summarize in terms of a conclusion and how they've reached that conclusion. We see the intersect between hard skills and problem-solving ability on a day-to-day basis, but how we assess those in the intersect is by looking at a skills assessment, which is specific to a domain or a context, and also through looking at problem-solving, which is agnostic or independent of context. We need to have highly tuned, well-developed problem-solving capabilities independent of context or domain, and being able to assess that in a structured and systematic way in an interview allows us to determine whether a candidate is going to succeed in this type of environment.
Once you have all the information you need, you can move on to solutions. The best solutions often feel like an elevator pitch. They should be clear, well synthesized, and can even have a KPI or a numerical value attached to them. You should have considered your problem from all possible angles as well.
So here are our tips for success. Bring a pen and paper. You're not expected to be a human calculator, and you'll find it easier to make notes. And remember, silence is okay. If you need time, take it. Synthesize out loud. We want to follow your thought process and how you reach the solution. And finally, ask as many clarifying questions as you need to be able to get all the information from the problem.
Once we've had a chance to speak with our hiring teams, to get back in touch and to think about whether or not you might be the right fit, then your recruitment point of contact will be straight back in touch. We really hope that problem solving gives you a nice little slice into what life might be like solving problems at Revolut. And hopefully we'll be welcoming you as a Revoluter really soon.